So I just finished recording this Fan Fridays, and I cannot stress enough how much it is an insane battle. This is the craziest, most ridiculous, scummy, absolutely absurd battle I have ever seen. Get ready for ridiculous Fan Fridays, guys, because this one is a freaking doozy. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlisify to the last Fan Fridays for this week, and I like the team. I mean, Audino, Sylveon, really cool Pokemon to bring, and then we have the Pachirisu set up, and potentially into the Salamence, Mega Salamence, all kinds of damage, power potential, and the opponent has the Aerodactyl. I always respect the Aerodactyl usage, potentially Mega Aerodactyl, and the Meowstic can set up in a couple different ways. Aerodactyl could have the Ice Fang for the Salamence. This could become a very interesting battle pretty quick. So that's going to be Aerodactyl's pressure, doesn't really bother us too much. The Intimidate, though, going to knock Aerodactyl down a bit on that damage, and then Meowstic is going to show some prankster stuff once we see that it is officially the Mega Aerodactyl. I mean, tough claws, good amounts of damage, very high amounts of speed, and then Meowstic is going to go into the assist. Uh-oh, that's a Dark Void. Yeah, that's going to be Dark Void. I mean, assist strategies do all kinds of really fun things, and actually, when you break it down, you see the assist Liepard for crazy copy shenanigans, but Meowstic, I haven't seen them assist Meowstic in the Dark Void, and the crazy thing is, like, you can manipulate it. You can play around the team to make it to where, alright, I'm going to assist, and I'm going to pull up the move I want, and that's going to be a Dark Void, knocking down both Pokemon, so Salamance's going to have to switch out. Pachirisu is going to get Sky Dropped, and Audino is going to come on the field, and Meowstic has Swagger. That's such a safe play. Just throw out the Swagger because they either have to switch out, or if they chance a wake up, they're going to be confused. So absolutely filthy shutdown. Aerodactyl's going to Sky Drop, but Pachirisu not going to take much from that. Not very effective hit. That's going to be fine, and Pachirisu is still asleep. That's bad. So Pachirisu is going to switch out. Does Audino have the Heal Bell then? Going to Salamence, Heal Bell it up, and pray. I mean, you can't stop the Prankster Dark Void. Like, it's going to happen. However, the Intimidate going to keep making Aerodactyl have less and less power, and it looks like it's going to be the Mega Audino and not the Mega Salamence. Fun stuff for what we have right now. And Meowstic's going to assist. All right. Is it 100% Dark Void? Dark Void. Okay, so we know that the rest of the team doesn't have anything else that's non-assist. That's so nasty. That's so ridiculous. There's a list of moves, and there's a way to play around, like, there's a way to play to the strategy. I saw the Golurk, so what is it, just like Focus Punch Golurk? What moves does Golurk get? Shadow? Oh, I don't think he'll do the Shadow Force or the Phantom Force. So Phantom Force Golurk works out like that, and Dark Void just going to make sure everyone keeps going to sleep and stays asleep forever as the Sky Drop damage is effectively infinite. Alright, that's the strategy right now. Aerodactyl's going to keep Sky Dropping. I mean, I like the Aerodactyl, but I feel like this is not a good use for it. You're supposed to use Sky Drop to have a sweeper overwhelmingly overpower the other Pokemon, not just this. It's an awesome strategy, but I feel like it's being wasted right now. You could have a much stronger Pokemon just win one-on-ones. If this is a free battle, like VGC 2016 level of stuff, what you could do is just have like a Mega Salamence 1v1 everything. Just like ultimate matchups like this. And I feel Aerodactyl's kind of squandering this crazy strategy. Like, I'm pretty sure it exists, but I've seen all kinds of other strategies that work around the assist, that work around Dark Void, that work around Prankster manipulation, but I haven't seen it on the Meowstic, and that's like the obvious one. So Aerodactyl going to go for the flies, stab damage. I mean, Rock Slide would be super effective. Tough Claws only boost the fly just a bit. I don't think fly's a bad move, honestly. From a competitive standpoint, it does good amounts of damage, but Audino's healer is actually going to be very powerful for the strategy. Salamence wakes up, switches out, Pachirisu comes in, gonna make it work right here, and now we're in a long, weird, awkward battle as Dark Void happens forever. Pachirisu's asleep, Audino's asleep, Audino wakes up, and it is confused. I mean, the Swagger plus that is absolutely nasty, and we're going to yawn the Meowstic. Ha! How do you like sleeping now, Meowstic? Yeah. And Aerodactyl has the Roar. The team is so disjointed, but the strategy is so good. I have no idea what the opponent is going. Wait a second. Oh! That's scummy. That's absolutely scummy. The opponent's not trying to win. They're trying to timer stall. Oh, that's absolute. You know what? Timer stalling goes against every fiber of my being. But I have to give it credit to them that they're at least being creative about it. They're not like dragging, they're not saying I'm losing. They haven't like, how's the way of putting it? Like, a lot of the timer stall I see is from behind. That, you know, the only way I can win is if I use the next 10 minutes of the battle to make sure that the opponent doesn't get enough chances to attack me to win. With this, it's actually like an active timer stall in like the weirdest way possible. Wow. Okay, it's creative scumbaggery, I'll give it that, because what you do is you don't go for the damage, you don't go for the wins. You make it to where only one Pokemon attacks, and the other Pokemon's going to be asleep forever. And then you just heal support it, and then you hide on the Phantom Force. That's why you have the Phantom Force. Oh my goodness, the opponent's actually super freaking creative. And then you have Destiny Bonds, that way you at least get 1-for-1s. Okay, so you never take any damage. Skydrop is going to lower the percentage health of your entire team to where you win by default. And then Destiny Bond trades 1-for-1s just to keep everything up. Audino wakes up, it gets a Calm Mind, and I don't really think that matters too much. But yeah, when we look at the Golurk has Phantom Force, so you're not going to be able to hit it for one of the turns, and then you're going to get Prankster assisted, and Smeargle has the Destiny Bond because if Meowstic gets forced out for some reason, or if something happens to Meowstic, you know, you just go into Smeargle, trade 1-for-1, you go back into it. Does Assist work with Pokemon that have fainted? So I think that could be maybe a problem. Oh my goodness, this is silly. I'm broken! The opponent's not a bad player at all, he's just playing dumb in the best way. In the scummiest way. Wow. Okay, so we have a lot of turns of this. I'm not even going to commentate all of these. I'm gonna skip around whenever exciting things happen. So I'm pretty sure the battle is just gonna be over. Now, Audino's getting those Calm Minds though, and there's like no kill pressure on it whatsoever. The Follow Me on the Pachirisu is helping. If Smeargle gets paralyzed on the right turn and Dark Void doesn't go down, Audino has a Dazzling Gleam, Aerodactyl avoids it. That's going to be a solid hit onto the Smeargle, and that's going to knock out the Smeargle. And that was after the King Shield turn, so the Destiny Bond didn't go through. So there was enough status to make it count. Now the Meowstic Dark Void is back out, and there's the Protect. So he doesn't want to take damage. Aerodactyl is going to Skydrop. Dazzling Gleam is going to do a little bit of something, but now, after that critical hit, you know, making it to where the Intimidate isn't as bad anymore, Pachirisu is still taking some solid hits. So eventually, through this team, you're going to beat down your opponent just enough. Like, you're going to make progress against it. And maybe you'll get that KO that helps you win, but there's Dazzling Gleam, big damage on the Aerodactyl. Audino switches out. You gotta make those right switches into Sylveon to make sure the Dark Void doesn't take out the entire team. So there's the assist. I guess even with a fainted Pokemon, yeah, it will work. Okay. I haven't seen a strategy like this. So even if Smeargle goes down, you still have access to the Dark Void. Because, wait, Aerodactyl only knows Skydrop. It's Skydrop and Fly, which can't be assisted. Okay. So the entire team is all assist to make it to where the opponent never attacks. And then you win through timer, but it's not like, I'm not sure how to do this, because it's not real timer stalling as long as they're not taking their full turn. Now, there's 40 turns to this battle. Oh, man, what does this even mean? Like, there's 40 turns to the battle, so that means the opponent was taking they weren't, like, wasting time on this. They were playing even when behind. Like, they weren't trying to intentionally timer stall. They were just stalling. Like, this is the stalliest silly team. I don't know. This breaks everything I know about Pokemon from how ridiculous it is, and yet it's effective. I just want to know who wins now. Is there going to be enough damage to overcome that Smeargle loss? Will Aerodactyl eventually go down? Stuff is going to happen. I mean, Aerodactyl as the fastest Skydrop is really ridiculous right here. Yeah, and it has damage from Tough Claws. Sylveon is very bulky, so there's no real damage here. It's just bulking into stall, maybe just trying to force Rage Quits. Like, if I was going up against this, I would stick through it, because personally, I never let any kind of stalling get me down. But I mean, if you don't have time to waste and you don't want to sit there for 30 minutes of active play, that's not fun. This is the most ridiculous Pokemon team I have ever seen. I mean, Wow, Meowstic even has Dream Eater. So Meowstic can put out damage. Now we're actually seeing something happen here. So Meowstic with the Dream Eater, going to get its sustain. You have Skydrop on a Salamence. You're going to eventually break Pokemon. And then the Swagger, just in case they wake up. Yo. I have no words for how creatively scummy this is. Yep, I'm just gonna skip around now. Alright, something just happened. Audino has Helping Hand. Salamence just roosted. Meowstic has the assist. Yeah, Salamence roosted in the last turn. Meowstic has the Dark Void. So, I mean, if Salamence doesn't go to sleep on one of these turns, then, like, the Helping Hand, Audino avoids it instead, but Salamence goes down. So, nice gamble right there, and it just didn't work out. Aerodactyl has Fly. So, I mean, Fly when you want to do damage, Skydrop when you want to disrupt. Swagger might do a thing, but the Salamence having Roost is keeping it pretty good right now. So Meowstic's going to do Dark Void. Eventually, like, where's the P? Are you going to PP out on the assist? How much PP does the assist have? I guess it's a lot if you can consistently Dark Void through an entire battle like this. Aerodactyl with the Fly, it's going to get some damage onto Audino. Audino's still got Calm Mind and ridiculous amounts of damage pressure. But Salamence, with the Roost, is like getting saved so hard by that Roost right now. Salamence is going to wake up, so I mean, it can wake up and have things happen. There's the Meowstic assist. It doesn't want to have anything happen. Dark Void. And Salamence, is it going to go to sleep? Is it going to avoid the attack? That's like the big breakdown right now. Salamence sleeps. I mean, you're covering so many options with this. If one of the Pokemon happens to not go to sleep, you just hope that's the one you Skydrop. If not, you just Fly or something. If they chance wake up, you can do whatever. And there's the Roar as well. So, I mean, Roar just to make sure the opponent doesn't keep any stats. I mean, Audino had a lot of Calm Minds going for it. I don't remember when that last Roar was. Maybe it got roared out of those Calm Minds already after getting a lot of damage. But yeah, you just don't get touched. Your opponent doesn't get to stat up against you. And then everyone's asleep. Salamence is awake, but now he's confused because of that Swagger. There's the Home Claws. So, I mean, that's... Oh, Home Claws Roost. That's pretty nice. But now you're a Roar target. You're going to go to sleep, get roared. Meowstic has the Dream Eater. Salamence actually woke up from the Dream Eater. Meowstic's going to protect it this turn. Oh, man, I was expecting that to be like an assist play. Because, yeah, you assist, you put both of those Pokemon to sleep. The Fly, that's going to be alright. Ooh, actually, I think the opponent might not be able to get away with this one. That's the protect. Yes, Salamence going to snap out. Salamence has the Steel Wing. Meowstic protects itself. Oh, that would have been time to get rid of the Aerodactyl. But the Pokemon advantage is there. There's another assist in the Dark Void. Yeah, I don't understand that protect, but he got away with it. Got away with it right there. Salamence is asleep. Aerodactyl's got Skydrop. Going to take Pachirisu with it this time. That way Pachirisu can't follow me for next turns or whatever. You're going to be able to make sure you can Swagger the Salamence. Then you go for the Dream Eater. Salamence is switching outside. Home Claws means nothing. Oh man, Meowstic just got paralyzed. There we go. Okay, so Pachirisu woke up, got the Nuzzle onto Meowstic. Meowstic is paralyzed, and it wasn't able to get that Dark Void. So, things kind of went back up. And also, Pachirisu's taking a lot of damage, though. The damage is starting to get really close right now. There's the assist. Meowstic got the Dark Void. Sylveon avoids it. Oh, but Aerodactyl's going to outspeed with the Fly. And that's how it happens. So yeah, Sylveon wakes up. There's the Heal Bell. Alright, so Sylveon was already asleep. Woke up anyways. Got the Heal Bell. Audino wakes up. Salamence wakes up. Everyone wakes up because the Heal Bell finally comes through. Salamence is ready to do things. And like, it's just now the 25% chance that the Meowstic doesn't get to do anything. Intimidate going to bother Aerodactyl from the sky. The assist will go off. Meowstic's going to Dark Void. Does anyone avoid it? Does anyone avoid the Void? I mean, Sylveon avoids the attack. Salamence goes down, so I mean, that's Heal Bell at some point. Aerodactyl's got the Fly, so there's the damage. I mean, Pachirisu's looking pretty low. Salamence. Aerodactyl, man, just, it's taken so many Intimidates, it doesn't get to do anything. And there's the Wish. What? This is so jank. This is so ridiculous. I'm wondering how the opponent's success rate works, because it seems like it works out to stall the game forever pretty effectively. Ooh, Salamence getting knocked down pretty low right now. We're in the last couple turns of the battle, and I'm honestly questioning if the opponent even wants to win, honestly, because why hasn't he switched out Aerodactyl and then gone into the Golurk and then just spam Phantom Force to try to win, because Aerodactyl has taken so many Intimidates, it's not doing any damage. He also flew onto the Audino instead of the Salamence. Salamence was at 10 hit points. That would have finished off Salamence and maybe snowballed the game back into where he's going to win, but he's lost Smeargle, and no other Pokemon are down. So there's the withdrawal on the Aerodactyl. Looks like he has understanding that the timer stalling is going against him at this point. Going into Golurk now, I'd imagine just Scarf Phantom Force, untouchable, high amounts of speed, good damage. There's the confusion. Helping Hand on that Audino is going to play out, but are we going to see the assist? Meowstic gets paralyzed. This might be the big turn where it really matters. Salamence got the Stone Edge, and that's going to hit Meowstic. But Meowstic's bulky. Doesn't have to worry too much. And nope, he's got Focus Punch. Okay. That's the thing. So can Phantom Force be assisted then? Because I'd imagine that, yeah, it wouldn't be. But why go for the Focus Punch then? Because you're going to be intangible, or untargetable, and you're going to be doing absolutely crazy amounts of damage. Generation 5, and we have Phantom Force. Yeah, it's on the list for assist. I just pulled that up. Okay, so why not tighten your focus and just throw out the disrespect focus punches when you're going to lose? The opponent's a brilliant idiot, is all I could say. He's trying to not win while trying to win in the silliest way possible. He could have played it better, and I think he would have actually gone away with it too. If it wasn't for that meddling Audino and that Pachirisu and all these kids. Man, I'm old. I'm old and I'm not good at tying together any kind of analogy like that. So there's the Golurk Focus Punch. I mean, boom, it's going to land onto the Fairy-type Pokemon. Still hit for... Wait, oh yeah, he's Fairy Normal, so it's going to be neutral hit right there. Golurk, Phantom Force, it would hit Salamence and it would work for good damage. Like, Pachirisu though is low. Are we going to get the Focus Punch onto the Pachirisu? There's the assist Meowstic. There's the Dark Void. So Dark Void's gonna do its work right here. Gonna make sure no one can get through it. And Pachirisu goes down. So Pachirisu is going to fall asleep. Salamence is also going to fall asleep, and that Focus Punch is going to go off onto the Pachirisu, and that's going to be a KO on the Pachirisu. There we go. Snowball back in favor. That's a thing. So yeah, now we just kind of wait to see who has the most health remaining, because Aerodactyl's low. I think the Aerodactyl being low is going to decide this one. Meowstic protects on this turn, and that's going to be Meowstic with a protect, Golurk with a protect. Oh, this is the last turn. So trying to keep it safe for the most damage. Salamence wakes up, going to get the Stone Edge. Meowstic protects itself. Sylveon has a Hyper Voice. The double protect comes through, so it's not Scarf Golurk. The battle is out. Who wins? We do. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here. When I made my all-status team, I kind of took it like a joke. Like, hey, wouldn't that be cool if I had no attacking moves and won a battle? Well, Liam here also thought it would be funny to do that, so we're going to watch it happen. What? He said, yeah, like, right here, man. Status only ORAS team I put together for a bit of fun, featuring your all-time favorite Stockpile, Snorlax. This is going to be crazy because I was kind of doing that for fun, and then Liam takes it to Battle Spot and against Legendaries, and may God have mercy on the soul. Because this is kind of ridiculous what I'm seeing here, and Snorlax is involved, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we see Primal Kyogre, that's going to be the obvious one. It's probably, maybe going to be Mega Salamence. Actually, no, wait, we see Rayquaza from the beginning. Most likely Mega Rayquaza, so Salamence is just going to be there for maybe, like, just for some strength. We're going to watch how this goes. So, Salamence, yeah, it didn't Mega Evolve. Just throws out the Dragon Claw onto Gourgeist. And Kyogre's going to throw the Ice Beam onto Snorlax. So, Snorlax, probably thick fat, because it took, like, no damage. But gets frozen solid? Oh, that's unfortunate. And Trick or Treat comes in, makes Snorlax that Ghost type, or at least adds it. So now normal Ghost typing on that Snorlax, loses that fighting immunity, or yeah, loses the fighting weakness, gains an immunity to it, and it's just really only weak against Dark right now. So Origin Pulse comes in, and that's going to do decent damage on Snorlax, finishes off Gourgeist with a crit, and Snorlax is going to want to wake up soon. Oh, hey, actually thaws out. Way to go, Snorlax. And gets that Stockpile in there. So now it's becoming a tanky beast. So Snorlax's defenses go up, and Shuckle comes into play. What's Shuckle going to do? Like, this is kind of crazy what we're seeing here. So Dragon Claw is going to hit Shuckle, not really do a lot of damage. Kyogre's going to try to cheese Snorlax with a Sheer Cold. Sheer Cold misses, Snorlax gets that Stockpile, And we see the boost right there. So Shuckle's going to go with the guard split. So Shuckle is going to give defenses to Snorlax. Now guard split only works with the base stats. So all those stockpile bonuses don't really go to Shuckle. The Snorlax keeps those bonuses, and it's really gaining Shuckle's defenses, which is really nice because I'd imagine that it's like a pure defensive Shuckle and maybe a pure defensive Snorlax, or special defense Snorlax. And now we're having a Snorlax with now absurd defenses at double defense with that extra typing. It's going crazy right now. Also, I think my voice just squeaked in a really crazy way. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that too much. But Snorlax now at the max stockpile, and it looks like the team is just like dedicating to Snorlax. Like, here's typing, here's defenses, Snorlax going to carry, and now we have Baynet. Baynet on my original all-status team, so we're going to see how this one comes across. So, Baynet's going to Mega Evolve. It has that Prankster, and then it can do some cool things with that Prankster. So, we're going to watch that and see if it does anything, like, crazy. So, there's the wish. We're praying to our Lord Mega Rayquaza, and now we have Mega Rayquaza on the field. So that's going to be a lot of strength. We still have Primal Kyogre. Delta Stream's going to kind of remove all that Primal Kyogre stuff, and we're going to see what happens. Baynet throwing the skill swap onto Snorlax. Seriously, dedicating everything to Snorlax. Now we have a Prankster, Ghost Normal, boosted defense, max stockpile Snorlax. And the Dragon Descent going to come across, hits Snorlax, and that's a Dragon Descent from Mega Rayquaza doing 20 damage? Not a lot. Kyogre lands the Sheer Cold onto Baynet, not onto Snorlax. So Snorlax dodging that one-hit KO by not getting attacked by it. And, okay, this is only turn 6, and Snorlax is going for that rest. Alrighty then. So Sleeps becomes healthy, all good things like that. There's the Chesto Berry, so the Chesto Resto combo, and Snorlax is ready to go. Snorlax going for that curse. Curse? So puts the curse onto Kyogre. Dragon's Descent is going to... What? What? Because Snorlax is a ghost type, so curse behaves differently. And then Snorlax doesn't take damage, but it's going to do lots of damage back. What's happening? So, Snorlax, so is the combo here, Snorlax going for that rest, and then going for curse, and then resting while the opponent's getting chipped down into oblivion? Because Snorlax is not taking any damage, and it's all status still, instead of having to worry about the toxic? Oh, the critical hit. Kyogre going to whiff that Sheer Cold again. Curse going to deal some damage to that Kyogre. And yeah, Kyogre does have an odd number of hit points, so it's not losing exactly a fourth. So it's going to take 5 turns to knock out the Kyogre. Rayquaza is going to throw down that Dragon Descent again. And if it doesn't crit, it's not going to do anything. Like, let's watch the hit points not fall. 23 damage, I think, was on that. So without the crit, Snorlax can wake up, use Curse, go back to sleep. And just not right now because of this whole setup. But overall, like, what? That's so just, I don't even know how to describe that. That's just ridiculous and awesome. So, Hyper Voice doesn't affect because Snorlax is a ghost type. Origin Pulse, no, still not doing a lot of damage. Snorlax is going to have to wake up and rest, or... Does it have another move that we don't know of? Snorlax wakes up. Recycle? The Citrus Berry, or the Chesto Berry! What? That's so cool! Okay. Alright. I just want to watch this battle happen now. Because now Snorlax is going to wake up, not take the damage, throw down the curse, rest, recycle, then, rest again, and then throw down the curse. Oh my goodness. Now, unfortunately, we do have to kind of, like, sit through a lot of the turns with this, but Kyogre's down. Like, this is cool. I would have never expected... This has got to be the craziest Pokemon strategy that has ever been conceived and then executed. Making Snorlax into a ghost type so it can curse, to then Chesto Resto the stockpile by also having the Prankster ability, so that way it does all this before anyone else. So that way it can get like the most out of its usage, while then having the defenses from a shark. I need a breath. What happened? Liam, you beast. I don't even know, man. And then, like, no damage. Like, anywhere. Snorlax is invincible right now, and now it gets that free recycle, and it just doesn't feel any kind of threat. So, Rayquaza's going for that Dragon Dance. He's now boosting himself. Reshiram's going for that Fusion Flare. Now there's boom, going to do about, what was that, 22 damage? And Snorlax feeling good, you know? It's going to throw down that curse. He's like, yeah, I'll be fine. Rayquaza throwing out that Dragon Dance, trying to get some extra damage. You know, he needs to like max out to even threaten the Snorlax at all. But, you know, with that curse coming through, that could be bad. And then Extra Sensory does nothing. Curse, you know, Rayquaza's on a timer right now. So that's going to happen. And then Snorlax is going to use Rest again because, you know, he's got that Prankster and he used Recycle. So taking the risk, like that was a risky turn right there, going for the Recycle then the Curse without having to refill the hit points. But he sped up the battle, you know? There's the Chesto Berry and there's a Dragon Ascent. And what the hell just happened, man? What is this? It's working! So we have Rayquaza now up to, what was that? 58 damage? Yeah, barely. And then we have Rayquaza, or Outrage from the Reshiram. The opponent's just like throwing all the moves right now. He doesn't really have many options. So Rayquaza taking damage from that curse. Snorlax setting up that Recycle. He's just going to like rest stall it out right now. And finds that Chesto Berry. He's good. And even like, yeah, like everything's working out. This is Rayquaza getting shut down by a non-offensive curse Snorlax that's using curse offensively? Cool. Outrage. Actually, Outrage could play into favor right here because now Reshiram's confused and Rayquaza's taking that damage. So that means Snorlax has a bit of like freedom. Just kind of do whatever. Which draws the Rayquaza because he's like, well, he's going down from that curse. And yeah, the Karen goes away, but that doesn't really matter. And Salamence comes back in. So, Intimidate. Snorlax doesn't care. Snorlax using Stockpile, but it fails because, yeah, this is kind of like a turn where you really don't want to use the rest because you are somewhat restricted to how many rests you have. So, goes for that curse. Really now. Cutting its own hit points. Taking the ultimate risk right there. Coming in, that's 12 damage on that Zen Headbutt. And Reshiram hits itself in confusion. And then Snorlax is like sets up that curse, and then Snorlax gets that rest again. And that's good to go. So I really hope like rest is PP maxed right now, because he's been using a lot of rest to set this up, and it's working out. So there's that. Chesto Berry wakes it up. Salamance's Dragon Claws not going to do a lot of damage. Curse is going to get set up yet again because of that Reshiram. So Fusion Flare is going to come across. And yep. So Salamence. Okay, so actually Salamence has even hit points. That means it's going down the 4 turns. And there's the curse onto Reshiram. And that's kind of how this is going to break down, huh? So Zen Headbutt coming in. We're going to watch it do 13 damage. Extra Sensory. I don't even know, like the opponent's just like randomly clicking buttons at this point. He knows it's over. And Salamence is going down next turn to Curse. The opponent can switch out to like kind of break this, but what are you going to do? Snorlax uses Rest. Like if you switch out, you're giving Snorlax that free turn of setup again, and they can just go back into Curse. So Snorlax becomes healthy. He's going to chill, and yeah, he didn't get that Recycle going, just decided to feel safe on it. Steel Wing going to come through, and we still have like 6 more turns of this, so hopefully you guys have been able to put up with my banter, but this is pretty neat. So Salamence is going down, which means that, you know, wake up, go and curse that Rayquaza, and then you can call it good as Reshiram just has a couple more turns left as well. 2 turns on the Reshiram, right. And like 2 turns on the Rayquaza, I think, too. So it's just going to take, like, you know, Snorlax needs to wake up, set down that curse, and then win. And I still can't get over that. Like, Rayquaza doesn't even have damage. Like, if it uses Dragon's Ascent, it's doing like 50 at a +2, or was that at +3? Like, it has to have some absurd power to do like less than a quarter, like less than a fifth of Snorlax's health. And Reshiram once Reshiram goes down, Snorlax only has a one-on-one with Rayquaza, that even if Rayquaza crits, it's not doing a lot because of the guard split from the Shuckle. So another Dragon Dance. Rayquaza's like setting that up. Fusion Flare is going to come in. Reshiram's final damage move right there. Doing nothing. Like, that was so little damage. And the curse finishes off. So, Snorlax, you know, it depends. Like, if he takes the risk, he could, like, go for that curse. Or, yeah, just, like, recycle, rest, curse. Make sure you win the game, you know. Don't do anything silly if you get crit. Does he have, like, Dragon's Ascent? Because that's Dragon Pulse. Is he going for, like, paralysis or something? I don't even know what the opponent's up to anymore. He just knows it's over. So there's rest, there's recycle. Going to get his health back. Even with all those Dragon Dance boosts, a crit probably won't even finish it off from half. GG. Like, just got a couple more turns of this. Gonna have it happen. So there's that. Snorlax going for the curse. And my mind is blown. Like, no, that's Dragon Dance, and even if Rayquaza like crits, I'm pretty sure that that's like the only thing that could happen to maybe work out against the Rayquaza right now. Or in Rayquaza's favor. That'd be cool though. Like, if you were the opponent and you got that crit, never mind the Prankster rest. So even then a full health won't even destroy at that point. So, Snorlax going to end the game like a boss. Just going to be asleep. He doesn't care. He's like, yep, I'm going to be tired. So, I'm just going to sleep through that hit, take no damage, and then you go down to my curse. Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here. I know it isn't an Orass battle, but look at this. We have the Kitty with Keys combo versus Spin to Swap. I mean, this is like a showdown of crazy strategy that could just... I don't even know how this one could go. That Spin to Swap is strong, and you have to shut it down, but I don't really see how the Kitty Key combo for all that double Prankster, it could shut it down. Like, I see a lot of status problems that could happen, but it's not going to make it not go off as much just like hard shutdown. So there's going to be disruption, and this is going to be crazy. Also, the Arcanine Intimidate doesn't really affect too many things right now. I'm excited, so of course we're going to see the Fake Out onto the Spinda. Can't let that skill swap go off. Klefki's going to set up the Reflect, but I mean, Spinda's just going to be able to do it next turn, it looks like. So there's the flinch. Arcanine's going to throw down the close combat, losing its defenses this turn, so the opponent making a pretty big mistake right there. Like, if you see a Pokemon with Fake Out, you might want to delay it just a bit, you know, try to set up something else, play it safe. But we're going to see this coming through. So now Arcanine's weaker. Meowstic's going to get the Thunder Wave. Klefki's probably going to throw down Thunder Wave as well. So long as Spinda doesn't get paralyzed, you know, Arcanine's going to get those defenses back. And then there's going to be momentum coming into the opponent's favor. Like, this is why I wanted to watch this battle. Like, this is going to be such a back and forth. So there's the skill swap. That goes off. No paralysis. And if Arcanine can land that, we're going to be looking for some trouble right now. So double Intimidate's not really going to accomplish too much. That'll happen. And there's the close combat, so everything goes off. Now we're at the reset point, so it's pretty much like what should have happened on the first turn just a couple turns later. Reflect isn't going to really matter too much at this point. Light Screen's kind of the bigger threat for the Klefki because of the overheat, but Arcanine needs to get up those defenses. And Swagger, oh, that's going to be terrible right there, lowering the attack. Wild confusing. So now we're getting that ultimate shutdown. Oh, and a Torment. The Torment Klefki, that's some awesome... Oh. So, going to try to throw down the skill swap. Yet again. That means Torment, if it is Scarf, Torment's not going to let this happen next turn. So, actually, that's going to have to force the opponent into something else. And, yeah, like, I was actually thinking about Prankster Torment not too long ago. And there it is. So, Arcanine's confused. Close Combat's going to come out. And... it's not going to really do too much at this point, but Arcanine's going to gain those defenses and go for the late game. And because Swagger doesn't really drop the special attack, Overheat's still an option once Arcanine gets set up, as long as it can fight through all the shenanigans. So there's going to be the withdrawal in Spinda. Spinda doesn't have any offensive options right now, and goes into the Dusclops. So Dusclops, what's he going to be up to? Just like a tanky, disruptive Pokemon? So Swagger's going to come in onto the Dusclops, going to raise its attack, confuse it a bit. We're going to see probably a Thunder Wave come in. And this is why I like the Kitty with Keys idea, is that there's so much status all over the place. Actually, Foul Play. Not really going to do much to Arcanine because Arcanine's lost so much attack from the Swagger. And Close Combat's going to come in. I think the yeah, you could have seen the prediction, gone for the Thunder Wave maybe. That would have been my idea, because you're like, that Spinda has to switch out. So now it's just like a huge mess that whenever a Pokemon faints or goes down, that's going to be a free Swagger Thunder Wave the next turn into some kind of follow-up. And it's just that cross, you know, handling with the Light Screen, Reflect, statuses, and it's a mess to have to deal with. That really the only thing that intimidates the Kitty with Keys combo is a Garchomp, because Garchomp, it won't get statused, and it will have a hard chance, or well, like Klefki will have a hard time against a Garchomp. So there's a lot of confusion right now, a lot of just stoppage. Not really doing too much though. Confusion's going to come in, and Arcanine's going to also hit itself in confusion. Now here's the interesting thing. People might make this as a point that like, oh, this is why Swagger is banned. Well, not quite, because I mean, if Meowstic carried Confuse Ray, for example, like any kind of confusion inducing would do the same exact thing as going on right now. Arcanine actually hurting itself less because of Swagger, and Dusclops not really hurting itself at all because it's a tanky Pokemon with low attack. So this is more a case against confusion than actual Swagger. So Arcanine's going to keep losing attack, so it's not going to have too many options. Needs to start throwing out that Overheat if it wants to see some damage, but it keeps getting confused. So here comes the Overheat. Now we're going to see a nice solid hit onto the Klefki. Will it be enough? Super effective hit says yes, and there's the special attack boost. So now here's where the dynamic swings back into the opponent's favor, because I said once that Arcanine gets set up and starts throwing out the overheats, now it's a threat. So Arcanine's going to be very defensive, very hard to knock out. Meowstic got it set up across the team. You know, now we have a lot of Pokemon paralyzed, confused, and a Mismagius follow-up. I'll bite. What's that thing gonna be up to? A nasty plot setup. So probably using Meowstic and all this kind of support to set up the nasty plot. Light Screen's going to come in. That's going to just kind of mitigate the special attack raise. And there's a Snap Out of Confusion. There's another Overheat. So that's going to be a huge hit. Focus Sash is kind of like the only thing I can see here. Or just a... Wow. I didn't expect to survive. I thought it was a very frail Pokemon. Has a bit of special defense though, so I could... Now I understand the survival behind the Light Screen. And Will-O-Wisp is going to come in, start doing some damage to the Meowstic. This is an insane battle. Like, oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine this at like some kind of event. So Shadow Ball is going to come in, try to just knock out that Dusclops with the nasty plot, gets the damage, and it looks like it's going to try to turn the battle, you know, into, we need to make this Arcanine versus everyone else. So Arcanine gets the avoid, I guess on the Swagger, lower accuracy, and then Overheat's going to come in and finish off Mismagius. And Arcanine's getting some brutal special attacks. So that thing needs to go away. Now, the Swagger miss right there was very bad, so we need the Paralysis to come through, we need the Swagger, only a 25% chance, roughly like 60-something% chance to attack. Gyarados is going to come in and want to set up. I mean, if Gyarados gets the proper support, Light Screen's up, Arcanine has no attack, Overheat is actually going to be not very effective. Arcanine's attack raises now, Dragon Dance is getting set up, but then we also have to worry about like all sorts of other craziness coming in with the defensive bulk. And Lapras is going to have to like Sheer Cold or something to handle this. Actually, it's got the Freeze Dry. So actually, Freeze Dry will just obliterate Gyarados. But Lapras is paralyzed. Like, it's exciting to see all this. Meowstic, it's burned, so it's going to be taking some damage. Not really, like, I guess it's Citrus Berry as well. So now we see the Mega Evolution coming across. Lapras kind of the hope for the opponent right now. Except Freeze Dry is only going to be super effective 2 times right now, so it needed it on that little switch in right there. And then Waterfall is going to come in, so 1 Dragon Dance. And, whoa, critical hit? No. Oh, wow, so that means Arcanine, wow, it didn't really do much right there. I thought it set up a couple of close combats. It was at like +3, maybe even +2. So that's going to be a super hit. That Dragon Dance being too much. Overheat's going to come in. Going to try to chip in some damage. Yeah, even that not very effective hit right there, doing over half. If Lapras can land the hit, though, that's where it comes in. Thunderbolt! So Thunderbolt over the Freeze Dry. Interesting. Not really doing a lot. Light Screen still up. And Leftovers coming in for the Arcanine. Double Paralysis. Gyarados is going to get that Waterfall off and knock out the Arcanine most likely. And that's going to come down to Lapras, I believe? So, yeah. That looks like how that one's going to play out. So in comes that. Arcanine's done. The setup did kind of break there, and because it got outpaced. That using that close combat on the first turn really hurt because it set it back 2 turns, effectively. So instead of boosting, it lost. So that was the deficit of 2. Could have been at a higher plus. Gyarados, The clutch survival right there on the Thunderbolt. Meowstic, I don't think Meowstic really has much to offer offensively. So it's really, Lapras is going to take the hit, most likely survive. In comes Spinda. Like, what is going on? So, I'm going to see this happen. Lapras is going to take that hit. Does it survive? No, yeah, exactly. There's a survival right there. Meowstic's going to throw down the Swagger, try to have Lapras hit itself. If Lapras hits itself, we're going to have another turn on the Gyarados. Spinda, I don't know what he's going to try to do. Teeter Dance. Oh, the extra support for the late game right there. Just everyone's confused. There's no rules anymore. Gyarados hits itself in confusion, Gyarados is out. Lapras hits itself in confusion, Gyarados has a chance for the follow-up. Lapras gets paralyzed though. Spinda now also looking at the confusion threat, and it looks like Meowstic really only has to worry about, you know, Meowstic's really only damage right now is going to be from Pokemon hitting themselves. Gyarados goes for the ultimate sacrifice, does a ton of damage to Meowstic, goes for the Earthquake to try to get some damage across the board. Meowstic hits itself in confusion but doesn't have enough. Spinda's paralyzed. What is going on? Lapras hits itself in confusion and knocks it out. What just happened? And then Meowstic goes down to burn. So it's 1 hit point paralyzed Gyarados versus this Teeter Dance. Spinda. I'm out of breath, guys. And then it comes down to the confusion. If Gyarados hit itself, game, but it didn't. And the 1 hit point. What? Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and Fan Friday starts right now, and I have no idea what's going to happen because that is a Spinda swap on the other side. So Spinda swap is a very interesting, volatile strategy that when you're using against an opponent who has no idea what's going on, it's probably going to go pretty well for you. But if your opponent knows what's up, then it could go pretty bad. So we can see that right here. Obvious Spinda swap. Spinda Arcanine, whenever you see that on the team, get ready for it. However, Chris has an interesting strategy that we might have seen already on Fan Fridays before. We saw was like a Psych Up, Belly Drum, crazy, ridiculous combo. And then Snorlax just went for like the explosion or the self-destruct and then ended up taking out the opponents, but not the Sableye. And then Sableye had massive damage left over. So Arcanine's going to get that Intimidate down. Belly Drum doesn't care because it goes plus 12 stages. And then Sableye is going to go for that Fake Out. So Fake Out, it's actually, like, that's already really interesting to talk about right there. Because when you see the Spinda swap, you need to know how to shut it down. And in this case, hitting the Arcanine might be your best bet, because Arcanine is going to close combat the Snorlax anyways, so you want to reduce that damage, and it is the Belly Drum Snorlax, but normally you want to shut down just Spinda, so adapting on the fly to a strategy that is pretty ridiculous. And then we're going to go into the Custat Berry. That's right, you go Gluttony, Custat Berry on that Belly Drum, and Snorlax is going to go first next turn, aka this turn right now, and Sableye, yep. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's also amazing as well. So Snorlax does have that self-destruct, and after that, nothing's going to survive, and doesn't affect Sableye, and Sableye grab those stats. It's actually perfect. It's perfect, because the opponent isn't going to be able to deal with that at all. And then they both go down unless they go for a Protect by predicting that. But either way, Sableye is going to get that free Psych Up. Like, all this is just so free. All Snorlax has to do is survive, which isn't really hard because it's super tanky. And as long as the opponent doesn't have double Ghost, you're going to get something out of it. So, Mammoth Slowbro with the Aegis Slash. Aegis Slash have Psych Up? But no, just the Sucker Punch on the Sableye. Sableye Sucker Punch, one-shotting a Mammoth. Did you expect to see that today when you woke up? I don't think so. And Aegis Slash even doubling down on the setup with the Swords Dance. Slowbro has the Scald. Scald is going to hit the Sableye. Sableye is a tanky beast. Oh, the burn is going to suck a little. But either way, knock off, Sucker Punch. It's all super effective stab boosted damage anyway. And Slowbro will survive after that burn, but Aegis Slash is there. Aegis Slash gets to do whatever, and it will be the Shadow Claw. Now, I am a big fan of Shadow Claw on the Aegis Slash for doubles, because it keeps your vulnerability low with the potential other Pokemon hitting you, and it keeps your damage high in certain situations. So, that's the strategy right there. Two gimmicks collide, and I'm pretty hype about that. Like, that's something, I don't even know. I'm slightly speechless because it worked so well. And it was like that understanding of the spin to swaps. Yeah, that doesn't mean that spin to swap is bad. It just shows like if you play around it, it does get shut down pretty easily. At the same time, then if you don't know how to shut it down, you have an Arcanine running around that has absurd stats. But it was the explosion, the cuss stat berry, the comboing, everything, and even the Clefairy. Just in case, like, Sableye, Snorlax goes down, you have Clefairy Aegislash. That's always nasty to deal with. Follow me, Swords Dance, Shadow Claw Destruction. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and I'll see you guys in the next Fan Fridays.